The Flicks Tape.
They have no future as they have no past. Tomorrow as today, slavery will be their only possible privilege.
We gods, man. We kings, man. We lords.
I was born black, I live black, and I'm gonna die probably because some cracker that knows I'm black better than you, nigga, is probably gonna put a bullet in the back of my head.
This is the remix. My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American.
Aborigine, which means what? Black folks. But you never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American. Aborigine actually means from the beginning. Two Latin words, ab meaning from, origine meaning the beginning.
Great shock around the age of 5 or 6 or 7 to discover the flag to which you have pledged allegiance, along with everybody else, has not pledged allegiance to you. It comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you. That the Indians were you. It comes as a great shock to discover that the country, which is your birthplace, and to which you owe your life and your identity.
Remember that big Indian dude in that movie? Mm-hmm. He was cool. And then he couldn't talk unless he was talking about gum?
Yeah. You know, I think you're not supposed to say Indian either.
No way, really?
Yeah. I think you're supposed to call them African Americans.
Oh, you're shoemakers now. And more importantly, you're a person of color. You're no longer a Nipmuc person. And that shows through in these county histories and also in the census records at the time. You find a person described in the 1860 census as an Indian. In the 1870 census, they're described as a person of color or a colored person. Same person, but the census taker, as part of the white dominant society, decides that this person is no longer Nipmuc.
Since y'all always screaming about DNA, watch what the biology professor says about DNA. Watch this.
Smith's breakdown from Ancestry showed 97% European and 2% Asian.
I'm a black girl. I am not a Jewish white lady. I'm black. My parents were black.
She contacted Ancestry with questions, but says a rep told her the results are accurate.
These DNA tests for ethnicity are entertainment value only.
William Gilliland is a biology professor at DePaul. He says DNA kits can be great for connecting family members and finding relatives, but the science for ethnicity testing isn't as concrete.
There's nothing that confident for ethnicity. There's no diagnostic nucleotide. You can say this person is from Europe, this person's from Africa.
You see that? DNA can't tell you where you're from. A scholar tells the truth. Watch this.
But many African Americans, you are the Native Americans. You're not even African Americans, you're Native Americans. You're the ones that they brought blankets with, was it smallpox or whatever diseases, and wiped out entire communities because they said they came in peace. But they actually came in war, and they are still warring us right until this day. So there are those beloveds of you who really don't feel any connection to Mama Africa. And this is just, you know, a confirmation, a reassurance that America belongs to you.
So Africans know this history, but nobody else does? Come on, make it make sense.
At me. And so with the help of my wife, we extracted enough saliva to send off in the mail. We were so excited to see the results. After about 3 months, we were shocked. My lizard was 51% Ashkenazi Jewish. He was also 48% West Asian. This was really interesting. They also gave us a little bit of his background and his history, what he liked to eat, etc. Let us know which animal's DNA we should.
If you're looking to get genealogy consultation, I highly recommend Mike. You know, he was very thorough, prompt, very knowledgeable. Even taught me some stuff about the background of Indian ancestry and heritage that I didn't know. The biggest piece of it is he taught me how to pull records and really dig into those records to make sure that I have things to match up to be able to take back for my citizenship. So I really appreciate everything he does, and I highly recommend Mike as your genealogist.
You don't have to try to be something you're not.
Trying to be something I'm not? Trying to be proud of my African heritage? That's being something I'm not, then fine.
My grandmother was a full-blooded Iroquois.
I know all of that, Mama.
They don't know this. I am alive because of the blood of a people who never scraped or begged or apologized for what they were. They asked only one thing of this world: to be allowed to be. It broke my heart when you changed your name. I gave you my grandmother's name, a woman who bore 9 children and educated them all, who held off 6 white men with a shotgun when they tried to drag one of her sons off to jail for not knowing his place. And you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name that would make you proud.
My father was raised in the era when black niggas couldn't claim Native American. Making music would've thought I had help, but the Indians I know wanna be the chief they self.
All I can speak for is our band, Horace Strong, the Austin Express. Right. They got people coming from all over the world. They want to know about the Creole, the Cajun.
Yep.
That music and this culture brings people together.
Hello, Mr. Horace.
Go to my grandparents, and my grandpa just had those old records. He had some old French music.
My name is Rodney Bernard. So I get that scrub board and I go in the kitchen with my grandmother and open the drawer and looking for a spoon. And she tell me, wait, Rodney, don't use my good spoon. Wait, I'll give you 2 old spoons so you can use it.
The same knife cut the sheep, cut the gold. What you gonna do with the knife that you throw? That's where it started back in them stadiums at Campo High School. When I started hitting it, boom, 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 boom. And nobody would tell me to start at the nut.
Me, myself, I really think it's more of dancing music than any other kind of music. You know, I like the waltz, and it's just something else, different.
The same knife cut the sheep, cut the gold.
When I went to Germany and Paris, France, man, hey, I was a star over there. Oh, big time.
You're part of a living, breathing, growing culture, so respect it. But this is like a culture that goes deep in the blood for a lot of people.
So let's get down to the truth about the music in Louisiana.
It didn't pay us to talk English.
They don't understand.
They didn't understand. They called me a little Frenchman. And boy, that would hurt.
I'd go over there and try to talk English.
We play what I believed in. But I mean, we're doing Zydeco and I'm playing flute. We like to innovate.
We're about to rewrite the history in Louisiana. You ready? What you gonna do if the knife's at your throat?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hit the like button on the way in, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission, and let's get into the content. This is a encore. I just wrapped up a broadcast on Phil Scott's paying goofy ass, disrespecting the Creole culture over there down south. And, you know, he said some very off-color, polarizing despicable things. Very, very egregious rhetoric, if you ask me. And I know that there were some folks that wanted to call in. I know that the last stream was cut a little short, so this is a encore stream. If anybody wants to click the link and call in, now is the time to do so. If not, we'll just go ahead and wrap up. But because we ended the last stream on such short notice, I wanted to give anybody the chance to call in if they had some more thoughts that they wanted to get off. But while we wait to see if we have any live callers, let's go ahead and give a quick recap of all the bullshit Phil Scott was talking about.
Ways is correct, but some things that she did not say. Now, she's right. They did not marry people that look like me, my color, right? Because a lot of them wanted to preserve that color. Like my grandmother said, I'm more inclined to believe my grandma because my grandma has never steered me wrong. She said they want to preserve that color. So she told me, somebody like you, no, no, no. Matter of fact, this is my grandma said, you got to be careful with them little Creole women. And I'll say, why you say that? He said, because in order to preserve that color, if they could not, like she said, get with other Creoles, they would get with a third and fourth cousin.
I love when you lying like that. So I'ma keep lying like that. I love when you lying like that. So I'ma keep lying like that.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, Phil Scott has an imaginary fairy grandmother that's a Louisiana Creole, and she says the Creoles participate in incest and inbreeding. What? Meanwhile, before going on this inappropriate tirade, he literally watched a video from this Creole sister where she goes out of her way to say that the Creole people did not participate in inbreeding.
Would you believe that there's a document that proves that they actually had a pact that they would do that? Okay, there's a lot of talk about why is it that so many Creoles married other Creoles. There's a term or a phrase they used to say, keeping it in the family. And it was literally that. Am I saying that my ancestors were committing incest? No.
She literally just said my ancestors were not committing incest, but Phil's going to say that they commit incest because his imaginary Creole grandma that he just pulled out of his ass said so. Okay.
It's correct, but some things that she did not say. Now, she's right. They did not marry people that look like me, my color, right? Because a lot of them wanted to preserve that color. Like my grandmother said, I'm more inclined to believe my grandma because my grandma has never steered me wrong. She said they want to preserve that color. So she told me, somebody like you, no, no, no. Matter of fact, this is my grandma said, you got to be careful with them little Creole women. And I'll say, why you say that? He said, because in order to preserve that color, if they could not, like she said, get with other Creoles, they would get with a third and fourth cousin.
Yeah, I don't know, guys. Should we believe the Creole woman in the video, or should we believe the pan goofy who claims he has a Creole grandma that told him some rumor about some intermarriage with? Because I don't know, guys. This is an encore stream, the last main live stream I did on the subject before this broadcast. We had a lot of people, over 200 live viewers, a lot of Creole people in the chat. They all said Phil Scott was lying. They all said Phil Scott was talking out of his ass. So why does he feel the need to do this? I don't understand. You run an African diaspora news station. Why don't you want to just talk about them Africans? Why don't you just want to stick to talking about the Bush babies? And before anybody says, well, Mike, you know, let's be more respectful. You're being a bit harsh calling them Bush babies. No, Bush baby is an appropriate title for them backward savages. Yeah, what's worse, me calling them a Bush baby or them eating smoked monkey raw? All right. And you know what, guys? Luckily, we do have a guest calling in. This is actually the main reason I'm doing this broadcast. We had the sister calling in. She had some questions. We had to wrap up the last stream in a rush manner. So, you know, this is a call-in stream so we can get these thoughts out and chop it up a bit about Creole culture. The first person we have coming from the back to the front is New Era. New Era, let the people know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind.
Oh, Carolina, same thing. You to put me in the backstage. You to talk to sister first. I'll talk to you after that.
Okay, well, hey, I thought you identified as a woman, and it's ladies first. So,
oh, you mad? You mad because you can't ask no more? Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Treat
I
as
want
another.
my baby back, baby back, baby back.
She my baby.
All
Yes.
right, brother. I'll bring you up in a minute. We got It Is What It Is. Remind us, sister, where you calling in from and what's on your mind.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Michigan.
All right, lay it on us. You got some questions about Creole culture, right?
Yeah, because I had a story. It's very brief. I'm not going to be long-winded. But the guy, he looked unusual, and I've never seen anybody like that. And just to give a brief background of me, like I have Native American or in my blood, and you can tell that from my hair texture. But I have a darker complexion.
I got you.
Different.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to place you on mute for just a moment. Your audio started going real wonky on us. So I'm just going to give it a second to sort itself out. Say something again.
Okay. Can you hear me?
All right, it's fixed now. Yeah, it's fixed now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sorry. But I saw the guy. Like I said, my background, I have Native American in my blood, and you can tell that from the texture of my hair. But I am of a darker complexion. And the guy that I saw, he was very, very fair, very, very light. Hair texture kind of very loose, not even a curl in it, very straight. And he walked up to me and he said, "You're one beautiful chocolate sister." And I said, "Oh, thank you." And he said that he was Creole from Louisiana. And I said, I said, "You're," I said, "Okay." And he kind of broke down what Creole was, because I was kind of like offended by him saying I'm a chocolate. And I was like, why is this white man calling me a chocolate? And he was
But you didn't know that white man might have actually been a black man, right?
So he explained that he was, because my smile was kind of crooked. It was kind of like a confused smile. And I guess he probably got that before. And he said, I'm black, I'm Creole, from Louisiana, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, okay. But I've heard about Creole people from Louisiana, but I never was face to face with one. And I'm kind of curious as to what is their genetic makeup, because they look like white people. And but I don't know how to process that, to be honest with you, because they can look white. They can look white. So yeah, that was that was an experience. But he was a very handsome guy, but he looked unusual. Like he didn't look like biracial or anything. He might have had prominent features, but it wasn't enough to say, "Oh, you're a black guy." And he had the swag and the cadence of a black man, but it was just like, oh my gosh, where are you? But it was quite an experience. But I heard that they're heavily mixed. Their DNA is with, I believe, white or French, given the history of Louisiana. And to kind of, and I don't want to offend Creole people because I don't know a lot of their history, but to kind of combat, but also kind of just, I guess, entertain what Philip Scott, because I'm not a fan of his anyway either, but to entertain what he's saying. I've heard a lot of white people in the area that I live say that marrying a second or third cousin is not something that they're against. And
which area do you live in again?
Michigan.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, well, I mean, Louisiana, French territory versus Michigan, two totally different things. But I think first we should definitely harp on the genetic makeup of the Creole people, because Creole people aren't just simply white people or light-skinned black people. They're basically a part of a cosmopolitan society of Indians, Africans, and French. So, you know, those people freely intermixing with one another for hundreds of years, you get the admixture now known as Creole. As far as complexions, there are dark-skinned Creoles, there are light-skinned Creoles, there's everything in between. But Creole is not a complexion, it's a culture, first and foremost. So there's
Yeah.
folks who look just like regular black folks, and they have Creole culture. And then there's people that look like white people, but you can tell they've got some black phenotypes and, you know, the black cadence, just like you mentioned earlier. So, you know, there is a lot of subtle nuance, but yeah, there's some Creole sisters up on the screen right now. And although a
Right.
lot of people associate the Creoles with the more fairer skin, there are dark-skinned Creoles as well, because it's a culture above all else.
Correct, because typically when you look to media, fair skinned Creoles are pushed forward. So the reason why I'm speaking to that, because it's more prominent to see that in media, fairer skinned Creole people. Just like you have, you know, darker skinned biracials, but they're not pushed to the front. It's just lighter skins, and that's the dynamic of the world in which we live in. But you know, I understand that Creole culture in Louisiana is very unique, and I would like to learn more about it. But again, as far as the inbreeding circumstance, I've heard a lot of white people, not only in my area, but I've heard a lot of white people say that that like marrying with like a second or third cousin is not out of the norm. And given that Creole people have European ancestry, and in Europe that was
Do
practiced
you
as
understand the
well.
difference between different European heritage?
Um, for the sake of
Well,
not
not
being
all Europeans are the same,
no,
right? Not all Europeans are just white people. I mean, you've got Scottish, Irish, French, British. So when you talk about the people who are the rednecks, the incest, I mean, you find that a lot with the British crowd. But when we talk about the Creole people, this is a
yeah.
culture that one part of that culture does have European admixture, but that's specifically French. So, you know, I think it's definitely a false equivalency to try to justify misinformation about Creoles inbreeding by juxtaposing that to stories of other European cultures inbreeding. Because, you know, to compare Creoles to just European culture by and large, that's apples to oranges.
No, and I agree, and that's why I didn't want to offend anybody. That's why I'm kind of treading lightly, because I don't know the history. But for the lack of education around it, I am doing the whole juxtaposing thing. You know, Europeans and their European DNA, and I'm like, could they have some sort of correlation? Could they have some sort of, you know, something that's
Well,
passed
let's get into it. When you say you've heard about white people marrying their cousins where you live in Minnesota, are these French people or are these British people?
that I never dug into. I
So
just
if you
saw.
don't know the specific European culture that they come from, we can't really compare that to a culture of Indian, African, French.
True. I didn't even want to ask them that, because when they said that that was not a problem, I just kind of
It was
like
like,
shut
yeah,
down.
I feel like we're talking about this, huh?
I was like, I'm
He's
not
like, so
even
I don't
gonna
need
say,
details now.
like, because I would have just say what the and I was like, maybe this is a cultural practice, so let me shut up. It's more of
Yeah,
them than it is me. So,
yeah.
but no, I do want to say that I'm asking these questions with much respect, and
Oh yeah,
I
of
just
course.
want to learn more.
Well, see, and it's great that you're here with an open mind to learn and asking these questions, because it looks like we actually have a Creole brother calling in. We've got Roy coming from the back to the front. Roy, let the people know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind.
Calling from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
All right, and Roy, are you able to answer some of the sisters' questions?
I got on. I was hearing her talk about it. I didn't really hear everything she was saying. So if you can clue me in, then I can clear some stuff up.
Yeah, for sure. So I'll give a brief recap for all the new viewers right now, and then she can go ahead and jump in and ask you any questions. But basically, we were talking about how Phil Scott was doing a misinformation campaign. He literally watched a video where a Creole sister said that Creole people wanted to preserve their culture. They wanted to keep the culture within the family. They did not participate in inbreeding, and they were not racist or colorist. They just wanted to preserve their culture and their familial wealth. Well, Phil took that video and said, Creole people are racist inbreds. So now this sister's calling in and she's like, hey, I know you guys are saying Creole people didn't inbreed, but I'm in Minnesota and I've heard some Europeans in Minnesota say they do marry their cousins. So I said, hey, I understand you've heard that, but we can't compare Creole people who are a mixture of African, Indian, and French and compare them to some random white folks in Minnesota, right? But so that's basically where we were at in the conversation thus far. And then you came in like a gift from God because you are a Creole brother. So you know, I don't want to be some Creole spokesperson when I'm not necessarily, you know, of the culture like that.
Yeah, well, first, Creole, I guess you would call it like Hispanic. You know, it's different Creoles. They got white, black, you know, mixture of both, mixture of Native American. Is a mixture of different cultures, but you can have just black or just white, because a Creole is not some people that you just put together and be like, that's a Creole. They look just like one. You can't tell. You know what I'm saying? It's not a. It's like what you said. It's a culture, really. It's not a. I know what people like to think that it's a. You know, you see the green eyes, or you seen that. Well, that's in every family. Everybody in the family got somebody with green eyes. Everybody got somebody in the family that's dark skinned. Everybody got somebody in the family that's light skinned. Everybody got somebody in the family that's red. Because you have somebody that name red because they're red. You know, it's just different people. So you can't just put it's not a monolith. You can't just put a certain stigma on certain people. Now, what Phil was talking about was they did have a section of Creoles that tried to take the Creole name for themselves. That's what he was talking about. But the larger community said no. That's why a lot of white people don't identify as Creole in Louisiana. They identify as Cajun.
Wait a minute, brother. Wait a minute. If I may, if that is where he was coming from, he did a terrible job explaining that.
Yeah, because they did have a section of Creoles in New Orleans, which is what he was talking about, that did try to take the Creole name for themselves. But like I said, the community didn't go for that. That's why a lot of white folks now call themselves Cajun, even though they are not. If you ever come to Louisiana, a lot of people identify as Cajun, but they're not Cajun. Cajun was only a select few that came to Louisiana. So that's another identity that they took and ran with it. Most stuff in Louisiana is Cajun, like is Creole. The food, there's no such thing as Cajun food. I know everybody like to say Cajun this and Cajun, well, there's no such thing.
So you telling me when I just had me some Alabama Cajun wings?
Yeah, that was just something they made up. That's Creole food. That's not. You can't. It's how can you take a food and just name it something that's not yours? Like somebody say Cajun gumbo. I never heard that till I got older. It was just gumbo. Then all of a sudden they start putting Cajun on it, and everybody identified Cajun as, of course, white people. But that's not the case. Gumbo, you can go to Africa right now and get a bowl of gumbo. That's why I like to teach people the history of that. There's no such thing as a Cajun gumbo, because the Cajuns actually learned how to make gumbo from the Creole. So how can it be yours if you learned it from somebody? You know, jambalaya. Jambalaya is a mixture of Creole, which is African. It comes from West Africa. Jambalaya is jollof rice. And of course, you know, being in America, you don't have the same ingredients that you do in Africa. So they made their own stuff. That's why it's called jambalaya. Jambalaya actually means words. Jambalaya means ham with rice. That's what jambalaya means. A lot of people don't know that. They just put, you know, it's like, oh, that's just called jump. No, it actually means something. Same thing with gumbo. Gumbo actually means something too. Gumbo means okra. But people, they just run with stuff and they say stuff like we have a thing called Cajun country, where it used to be called Creole country, and then Edwin Edwards changed the name to Cajun country. Out of the 23 parishes, 17 I think were Creole parishes.
And when
they
we talk
just
about Louisiana parishes, are these kind of like towns or cities?
yeah, they like counties, I guess you would call them in all the rest of the countries. All the rest of the country is like Orange County and stuff like that, or parishes. I live in Calcasieu Parish. That's the west part of Louisiana, southwest part of Louisiana. That's near as near the border of Texas. That's why you have a lot of people move from Louisiana to Texas, Houston and Port Arthur. Well, Phil's from Port Arthur, so I don't understand why he's talking about Creoles, but they have a whole bunch of Creoles in Port Arthur where he's from. So I don't understand why he would say something like that. Actually, probably in the community where he's from, there's Cajun Creole people. So I don't understand. Maybe he was trying to make a point of some kind, but it didn't fit his point because it was null and void.
Yeah, and you know what? Before we provide an open platform for the sister to ask you some more questions and stuff, I know there's a lot of new viewers right now who haven't seen the last live stream we just did. So let's just go ahead and do a quick recap on the controversy.
So you got, one of the sisters from Louisiana, one of the Creole sisters, is going to kind of explain to you just a little bit of their history. But, she's a lot right in what she's saying. But my grandmother told me a lot about the Creole history. Because my grandmother, is from Louisiana. But let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Would you believe that there's a document that proves that they actually had a pact that they would do that? Okay, there's a lot of talk about why is it that so many Creoles married other Creoles. There's a term or a phrase they used to say, keeping it in the family. And it was literally that. Am I saying that my ancestors were committing incest? No.
So she literally goes out of her way to clarify and say keeping it in the family does not mean incest, does not mean inbreeding. But in the moment, Phil's going to say, oh, yeah, y'all marry y'all cousins.
No.
What that meant was we had a class of people of our own. The gens du couleur were in a very unique position. They could not marry slaves. They could not marry whites sometimes. Sometimes they could, sometimes they couldn't based on the law. Did they have consensual relationships outside of marriage? Yes, they did. Here's the thing. These people were not like us. They had a whole different set of dynamics, and it was a different world, a different time. Socially, there were things that weren't acceptable. Think of it however you want to, but what wasn't acceptable at the time were people who made a certain amount of money dating down or marrying down. Okay, these people.
So now she's going out of her way to say, also, when we talk about keeping it in the family, it's not on no racism. It's not on no colorism. It's not no light skin versus dark skin gang wars of the 90s. No, this was about preserving family wealth.
We're all about looks. Okay. Now, appearances. That was big. They could not marry down. That's literally, it was like, when I tell you that these people were the richest people in America, it was like a Kardashian dating a high school basketball coach. It was like that. I'm telling you, they were rich. They were rich with a capital R. So many of the people who were slaves that didn't work themselves up, right, after they became free or whatever, they couldn't marry them. And they couldn't marry whites sometimes. So what they did was they all created a little community within themselves because they were not really able to mix outside of that. And they kind of ran with their own people just the same way that we do in terms of finances. It wasn't skin tone. It was finances. If you were on their level financially.
So, first point that she clarified, no incest. Second point, she clarified, no discrimination based on complexion, no discrimination based on skin tone. Yes, prejudice or discrimination or lack of wanting to mix rich families with poor families, but this ain't got nothing to do with colorism. This has to do with haves and have-nots.
Okay. Now, many of them tried to keep the money within the family because it was their way of trying to build community. Because so many things with the whites, it was caused.
And thank you for the history lesson, S. Larvadane. I recently watched some stuff on Nipsey, and I learned that his father was like Eritrean or East or North African, but I didn't know that his mother was Creole.
His mother from New Orleans.
Probably.
Oh, from New Orleans, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. The more you know.
Problematic. So this was their Black Wall Street type of mentality. They had made pacts to marry each other's families, and that's what they did.
Now, what she said in a lot of ways is correct, but some things that she did not say. Now, she's right. They did not marry people that look like me, my color, right?
She didn't say that. She didn't say that once,
but
right?
Which is not true. But you know, it was a lot of dark-skinned people in Louisiana had money back then. See, that's what they don't tell you. But
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, a lot of dark-skinned Creoles had money. That's why they started a paper business in Louisiana and everything. You know, it wasn't just like they say light skin. That's why he's getting that mixed up with the he hitting in his mind. A Creole is light skin. That's all he knows. And I live in Louisiana and I see dark skinned people all the time. That's Creole. I'm telling you, and they got plenty of paper, like rich.
And I know you're saying that what Philip is saying is wrong, but I think that kind of gives credence to the whole racist and colorism comments.
Well, not really, because my grandfather dark. My grandfather blacker than this. I'm looking at this typewriter right here. He's darker than that. My grandmother light skinned, so it's not possible. As first of all, Creole is more language based than anything, because a Creole is his own language to be. See, a lot of people don't know Creole is his own language, not French and not Spanish. It's his own language. A Creole person can speak French, but a French person can't speak Creole because of the way the language structure is. That's another thing people get misconstrued. Wow. Yes, it's a French. See, it's a French-based language, but it has a lot of other things in it. Like you have a lot of Spanish words in it. You have a lot of Native American words in it. You have a lot of African words in it, and you have a lot of local languages. You know, from once over the years that's passed through the years. That's why if you don't live here, it's kind of hard to understand.
Right.
You know?
So the fact that Creole is a culture,
yes.
Which I completely understand, and which I originally I thought that's what it was, Creole, and it had nothing to do with race, complexion, or anything. But the reason why I gave my first statement, the fact that they're pushing like fairer skinned people or lighter complected people with green eyes.
Yeah, but that's in the Hispanic community. You have a whole bunch of dark Hispanics, and they always push the light skinned Hispanic.
Correct. So
it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. But I could give you a perfect example right now of a dark skinned person that's famous that nobody ever had. His name Clifton Chenier. He invented Zydeco music. The Zydeco that we hear nowadays, he invented that, and he's darker.
What was his name again?
His name is Clifton Chenier.
Clifton Chenier.
Yeah, he's the father. Chenier. But out here it's Chenier, but out there it's Chenier. That's why we just go with the English version. But
is this him right here? Oh wait, these some shoes. Hold on, right here, Clifton Chenier.
Yeah, that's him. Do he look light skinned?
Not at all.
No, his whole family dark skinned. He married the sister of Lightning Hopkins. He's the father. I think he's the father of Texas Blues or Texas. I think Texas Blues.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that I'm not combating like individual experiences, but when you ask who is they, I mean media, and they push.
But when you talk about media, I mean Creole people don't have control over the media that's pushing light skinned Creole over dark skinned Creole.
However, that gives credence to what Philip Scott is saying, the whole racism notion and colorism. Even though that Creole people, so to speak, I'm going to say, I assume that Creole people don't have any power over media. They're not combating it. At least the fair complected ones. It
Yeah,
is
you're
all
right. We not compared because we, like you said, we just like regular black people in America. We have a lot of money, but it's not a lot of power in within that money. So of
right.
course the narrative gonna be, well, they all light skinned, they all green eyes, or they all this and that. And lately they've been trying to fight it back, but it's a losing cause because
Right.
like, you go either like Popeyes. The guy from Popeyes learned how to make the fried chicken and the dirty rice and all that from the neighborhood he lived in New Orleans. People don't even know that. He didn't get that. He didn't know how to do that.
Right. What
But
it
at the
is.
same time, wait, hold on, Roy. If you can clarify though, when you said that the Creoles aren't combating it, I think what you mean is that they're not able to successfully
Yes,
combat it. But it seems like
successfully,
they are
like
combating it.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think they are combating it because as soon as we bring up that point, we got people like you and half a dozen other Creoles in the chat saying, no, we're not into the
Yeah.
colorism. We got dark skin family, we got light skin family, regardless of what the media tries to push.
But
Yeah,
that's on
like
a smaller scale. So say like Creole people say like on the larger scale. The biggest known Creole would be Beyonce Knowles' mom. She doesn't say
well,
anything.
Beyonce is a Creole too, even though
Okay.
she's not. She's like like it's just how it's Hispanic. If you part Hispanic, then you Hispanic. Well, Beyonce would be the biggest one ever known. Prince would be the biggest
Prince,
known.
probably, yeah.
Prince would be the biggest known, and then you got other people that don't really say, but once they say like Ice T, I think Ice T, Mama was from Louisiana. You have what's that, Michelle A.
Yep.
She's from Louisiana. I mean, you got a lot of people that don't really push that where they from and stuff like that. But we know we got a lot of
Right.
football players, basketball players, baseball. I mean, we know it's a lot of different things that we really don't say,
But if
and we should though. We
you
should
want
feel like it.
people at large to be acknowledged and nothing gets
Yeah.
misconstrued or people make false statements, then those people that have that kind of power and entertainment should say, hey, we are a diverse group. We
Yeah.
not only have fairer skinned people, but we all also have darker skinned people because it's not something that people are pulling out of the sides of their necks.
But
People
at
are
the
saying
same
we're
time,
not
have you ever
our
searched for
image.
this information? Have you ever, in your own
Yeah,
free
they got it
time,
on
watched
YouTube
a Creole
nowadays.
documentary and saw how they speak about their own culture?
Everyday people are not looking to research history. They're not. They're
So wait,
looking at
hold on, time out. Foul on the play, foul on the play. How can you try to judge whether or not Creole people are doing enough in media to combat these misnomers and these false truths, but at the same time, you aren't even looking up Creole history and culture under your own
Hold on.
fruition? I mean,
I'm
come on.
I'm
Maybe if you
making
watch a Creole documentary, you'll see that almost every prominent Creole person, whether an athlete or a museum or a musician or a chef or anything in between, they all speak very candidly about them being a melting pot. And you'll see a dark one, and next thing you'll see a light one. So, I find it interesting that you're, coming off so contrarian when you haven't even done the research.
okay. So I'm trying to look up this objective. So I think I need to be more specific when I say we, he, and they. I was saying not me, but I'm talking about the collective of people. I said everyday people, and I'm not sure if you're Creole, and these statements are not meant to harm you. It is just meant to open up the
I do not
dialogue.
identify as Creole, and these statements
Okay.
don't harm me. I'm just speaking about how borderline imbecilic some of your notions are. The first thing that you were opening up and saying was that you think there's truth to Creole people committing incest because you heard some white people in Minnesota or Detroit or Michigan or something commit incest. So I mean, you've made more than one, piss poor statement, to
What?
say the least.
Can I interject? Why you don't hear a lot? I'm interjecting to and let you know why you don't hear a lot of stuff from Louisiana. Louisiana, a long time ago, I want to say like the 40s or 50s. It's right around the time when they start doing the civil rights and era and everything. Where they Louisiana put a commission out called Codafil. It's called Codafil. That's the acronym for it. Well, they put it out, and anything remotely to do with French or anything, they eliminated black people out of it, dark skinned people, all that stuff out of it. That's why you don't really hear about that. That's why you always hear about Cajuns and They did that like in the, I want to say the 60s. So it was a commission from Louisiana. They put out anything to do with French speaking or anything to do with automatically French. That's why a lot of stuff in Louisiana went from being black or dark skin or whatever or
Right.
African or anything to do with that. They eliminated that. That's why you don't. That's why everything is Cajun now. If you ever notice, everything is Cajun. Nothing is Creole. Not one thing is Creole. Not the music. The person who made, let me blow your head. The person who made Cajun music, his name was Amadé Ardoin. He was a Creole. He made that in the early 1900s. They ended up killing him because he went to he did a show and they didn't like what he did within the show and he left and then they ran him over and then he ended up dying in the hospital maybe a month or two later. But his name is Amadé Ardoin. Ardoin is spelled, I think it's Adoin, I think Arodin. His name Ardoin. Amadé Ardoin. I think it's Amede. Amadé Ardoin. And it just nobody pushed that. He's the father of Cajun music.
Right.
Everybody always think Cajun music is some kind of a white thing. It's not. Cajun music was made by a black man.
I would in fact say that it is
So this is him right here.
a notion.
You said it's Amadé and Ardoin.
Ardoin. Let me see.
I would say that it is a matter of
That's
colorism.
Boo Travers right there.
It is a matter of colorism and upholding racism and within Creole.
Yeah, that's Amadé right there. That's the father of Cajun music.
This color hierarchy, because the guy named Mike is not even Creole, but because he's of a lighter complexion, he's fighting.
You're not Creole either. What are you talking about up here?
But however, I'm not trying to fight or insult because
you are trying to fight. You're trying to be contrarian.
Look the guy right there, Amadé. He's not light skinned. He's
people are racist and inbred. Yes, you are.
You engaged in symbolic violence just by me asking
symbolic
questions.
Violence. What?
You don't know what that is? Maybe you need to do your research because
What are you gonna say? I have toxic masculinity next, you snowflake?
No,
what the hell are you up here talking
at
about?
all.
You're on Mike TV. Take your shoes off. Act like you got some sense, or you can exit stage left. You came up here asking questions to learn. If you don't want to learn, go elsewhere. Go watch Phil Scott, Honey Boo Boo Child. Let me put her back on stage for a second so she can think about her actions.
I don't understand what's.
I don't know what. Hey, she came up here trying to say Phil Scott's right, and Creoles are inbred because she knows some people in Michigan that are white that married her. Like, what is this brought up here talking about?
Yeah,
well, Mike, you're not even Creole, Mike, but you're light skinned, so you're getting different. No, bitch, I'm a historian. I'm a full-time genealogist, and part of my one-on-one consultations that I do is a whole section on the Louisiana Creoles. So I
just gave you two examples of dark-skinned Creole that had major ramifications of, Louisiana music. And they're not light-skinned. I'm not understanding where that people get these things from. I guess because they see it on TV.
There you go.
I guess seeing it on TV, it makes you believe it or something, but that's not how it goes in real life, especially in Louisiana.
Hey, we're going to put her on ice for only another moment. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. There's people in the chat asking for the link. The link's in the chat. Click on the link that says StreamYard. Once we come back from the break, we'll see if she's learned the error of her ways. American and a proud member of the Muscogee Creek Nation, I understand the importance of tracing your lineage. Help me help you discover your roots with a personalized genealogy consultation. Paper trail Genealogy Matters. DNA tests can't prove ethnicity or tribal affiliation. You must search through paper records to dive deep into your family heritage. During the meeting, I will teach you how to navigate the genealogy process with ease. You'll learn how to link tribal affiliation with your ancestors, and I'll show you the step-by-step process I went through to gaining tribal citizenship. Take the first step to unlocking your past. To book a consultation, send an email to mike@keymediapro.com.
Everybody that wants to know, Mike is the real deal. His information is real. He's a humble brother, and he's all about the information. He's not about, personal gain or personal applause, personal credit. This is about our nation. It's not about one individual, but it's about us collectively as a people. And Mike is all about that, So we stand behind the brother 100%.
So I think it was very informative, very educational, very knowledgeable, because you touched on some things that I was aware of, but I wasn't aware in detail. So it kind of gives like an insight to some of the things that are going on today from history. So I think it's very important to learn your genealogy. And I thank you for the information. You're showing us how to navigate through the system. It's worth 75 or maybe a little bit more to me.
If you have any doubt, get it out your head immediately. So yeah, like I'm going to continue to work with Mike as much as I can. So I want to say thank you, Mike, for actually taking the time out and talk with me and my husband. Like you definitely informed us on a lot of things. And the people out there that's watching, he will also inform you on a lot of things that you may not even know about. So I want to say thank you again, Mike.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before we bring the lady back as well as some new callers, although I can be passionate when defending historical accuracies against historical inaccuracies, I don't know why she got so off color there. I mean, Roy, you're a Creole man, culture, everything in every way that you can be a Creole man, right? I mean, yeah. I'm just going to shut up for a moment. And what do you think about everything that unfolded?
I really don't know what happened. I'm listening. I thought everything was cool, but I guess maybe she had a point that she didn't get across. Maybe I don't get it and got frustrated. I don't really understand what that was about. Like maybe she just I don't know. I couldn't tell you right away because it just kind of baffled me for a minute.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, you're the the de facto ambassador of the Creole people right now, and you're basically saying the same thing I'm saying. Phil is wrong, and he shouldn't have said that shit.
Yeah, I don't understand what Phil. See, Phil should have talked to somebody first because he's from Port Arthur. They have thousands of Creoles in Port Arthur where he's from. So I know he talked to his grandmother, his mother. He said. So I guess she should be about 70 or 80, and I guess she could have some similarities, but not where we from. You know, I'm from the west part of Louisiana, and it's different from New Orleans. And it's a lot of people need to start understanding that it's literally like two different worlds. You have the people that's just in New Orleans, and that their way of thinking and doing things is different from the west, southwest Louisiana. We call it down east. Down east is considered Opelousas, Ville Platte, Mamou, all that stuff. That's like the Mecca for us. I know everybody have a Mecca. Well, that's the Mecca for us. Opelousas area and stuff. That's where a lot of people, families come from that moved to this area and to Lake Charles and Lafayette and all that stuff. That where the Mecca is Opelousas. That's why they call it down east. So if anybody asks you what's the Mecca for us in Southwest, is Opelousas.
Hey, brother, I just really don't understand where it went left, because she's talking to someone who's a full-time genealogist, a full-time historian. I've got my family tree mapped on my father's side to the early 1800s, my mother's side to the late 1700s. Matter of fact, if you remember when she said, "You're not Creole, are you?" What did I say? I said, I don't identify. No, I said I don't identify as Creole. Why? Because I ain't trying to false rep out here. My grandfather was Kelso Thomas. He was born in, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Natchitoches. It's called Natchitoches. Natchitoches.
Okay.
Yeah, it ain't Natchitoches. People say Nacogdoches and all that, but it's Natchitoches.
So he's literally from Louisiana. I've got heritage from there, but even still, I would not try to claim Creole because I think it's a culture. It's not just a lineage. You have to be raised in that culture.
Now, is he kin to the Matois family? They from that area. That's the famous. She was a slave, but her master / husband ended up giving her like a whole bunch of land, and then that land ended up turning into the people's property. And I think their family still live on until this day. That's up there in Natchitoches. It's a big old thing. Like he gave churches and stuff like that. I guess once the slavery was over with, he kind of changed his way. I think he gave some kind of church with a Catholic church. He ended up being some big old cathedral out there in Natchitoches. I can't remember the name of it.
And see, just because I have lineage that goes to Louisiana, I still wouldn't claim Creole, because I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, Roy, but I feel like you can be a black person in Louisiana and not be Creole, right?
Yes, you can. Yes, it's definitely have black people in Louisiana and white people in
Not
Louisiana. That's
every
not Creole.
single not every
Yeah,
single
not everyone.
melanated person is Creole in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, people get that confused too. They're like, well, how can you? Well, it happens all the time. It's just certain. You have to have certain parameters. It's just like being Hispanic. If I moved to um Colombia or something, I wouldn't be Hispanic. I would be a black person living in. It's the same way, unless
Exactly.
you were born and raised and part of the culture and stuff like that. It's just
Well,
hard
hey,
it's hard to figure out.
I know that tensions ran high, and I like to give everybody a fair shake. So we're gonna bring the sister back, and we're gonna give her 2 minutes to speak uninterrupted, and let's see what she has to say before we bring on some new callers. Your time starts as soon as you unmute yourself. Go ahead. You have the floor.
First of all, you made a statement about me being from different areas, and that's where you became very emotional and irate. And you did call me a bitch. This is a lie, and I won't tolerate that. And I have every right to defend myself. I'm asking questions, and I said I'm objectively looking at this, but you started to get very feminine and started to get very emotional about what was being said, because no one's attacking you because you are of a lighter complexion. We're trying to see why certain things are pushed to the forefront in media as to why things are pushed back. That's what I was questioning. You could not answer that thoroughly, so you became emotional and you started attacking me. That's what occurred. I was listening to the young man or the older gentleman about Creole history, and he gave a lot of good information, and I was engaging with him. But you became very disgusting and nasty and called me out of my name, and therefore I will not tolerate anything like that. Your hair texture is coarser than mine. The only difference that we have between us is our complexion. I didn't bring any personal information up. Now I am. If you want to make personal attacks, I will as well. I match energy. But I came up to your show respectfully asking questions, and based off the information of different groups of people and what they have submitted on their personal experience, I made a comment and I asked questions. But you became defensive, sensitive, and feminine in your responses, and you were disgusting. For you to have a platform, this is not looking like a platform anymore. It's looking like a cult. That's what it is, because no one can ask a thorough question without you becoming a bitch. So don't call me out my name, and I won't call you out yours.
Is that it? You've got 10 more seconds.
I'm done, faggot.
So I'm a bitch and a faggot. Lord, tell me she got triggered without saying she got triggered. So the first points of contention, she's talking about, well, just because I'm from a different area. No, you ignorant ass babbling broad, because I didn't call you a bitch. I called you a broad, but I can easily call you a bitch. You're acting like one. Not all women are bitches, and not all bitches are women. And I don't know what you identify as, because it's coming off very masculine. You said that you come from Michigan or something, and you know white people that marry their cousins in Michigan. So because of that, you think Louisiana Creoles married their cousins. That was the first ignorant ass point you made up here. While you're a troll that came under the guise of a student just wanting to learn. Hey, Mike, I just saw your stream, and I just heard about the crew, and I just have some questions. And I don't watch Filter, but I just need some answers. And we came and educated you. And you acted like a poor house guest. You weren't called a bitch. You were called a broad. But yes, you act very bitchy, very catty, very emotional. Talk about projection. You're trying to call me emotional while you're up here damn near crying on my panel right now. Riddle me that. You brought up my complexion. You're bringing up my heritage. Did this dumb bitch just say my hair is coarser than hers? Bitch, I am bald-headed. What the fuck you mean my hair is coarser? I have none. Y'all, she said she said my hair is more coarser than her. She believes Phil Scott when Phil Scott says the Creoles are racist and inbred. But if there's ever someone that's racist or inbred on this panel, it would be her. Why are you questioning another black man's complexion? Why are you questioning the coarseness of another black man's hair? I mean, this is strange behavior from a black woman. We checking hairlines, passports, and lineage. You may be from the Congo with the way you're talking. I'm not quite sure. I don't know what's going on with her. But before we bring her back for another 2 minutes, because guys, this is a cult. ran by a, hold on, guys, I got to put up my disclaimer before I even repeat the asinine statement she made. This is a cult ran by a bitch faggot. Yet she's up here to talk to me on my show, asking us to educate her. And I run such a cult-like program that I just gave her 2 minutes to speak uninterrupted.
Hey, yo,
guys.
Mike, before you go, I just want to say this is most definitely in a motherfucking cult because we do disagree with Mike sometimes. Like,
Hey,
I'm definitely ain't no yes man, so
hold
yeah, if I'm on the panel, this ain't no motherfucking cult.
guys. This is a cult, and this is a crazy new cult leader named Mike TV, where he lets people speak on a timer uninterrupted. He lets people on the panel interrupt him. And oh my, it's a cult though, guys. It's a cult. So before we bring her back up to entertain us some more, because I kind of like the way she dances, so we're gonna see if she can give us a little na, get jiggy with it. Let's see what the new panelists have to say. The first one coming from the back to the front is Clarity. Clarity, let us know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind, sister.
Hey, Mike, long time no hear from Philly.
Hey.
Just to bring clearance to this or clarity to this. As Black Americans, I'm noticing, if you notice, Phil is Pan-Africanism, of course. We all know he's a big Pan-Africanist. Most Africans, if you chime into their spaces, and he's a Pan-Africanist defending Pan-African notion, and I'm noticing this as we see that we're delineating as Americans, I call us Americans, true Americans, Black Americans, that a lot of the notions of Africans and Caribbeans tend to infiltrate. And if you listen to those spaces, you will think that Black Americans don't have different colors and credences, and they tend to push the notion. I found this real funny from Phil. And as a Black American woman, we have different colors, complexions. That's just who we are as Black Americans. And a lot of people are really trying to, especially Africans, are always trying to get into the space of division with color and colorism. But if you look at our families, I've seen dark skinned Creoles, just like I've seen light skinned Gullah Geechee. We mix across the board. And history is history. That is what we are. That is who we are. But I find that Africans, I find this strange coming from him. And he tends to be very colorist himself. But I think we
Well,
need to be
and
mindful.
that's why I started to question the female color's lineage, because the whole time she was up here, she was really digging in deep on some colorism.
Ooh, a lot of African and Caribbean or women who tend to listen to those spaces, I can fault myself for that because I was getting on that whole aspect. And then I had to go back and look at my own family. And I'm like, wait a minute. We as Black Americans, we all come in different colors, from the lightest to light, darkest to dark, straight hair, curly hair, light eyes. It doesn't. I went to school with a girl who was Creole. She was dark skinned, mom light skinned. We can't get into this notion. I think what is starting to infiltrate here is a lot of cultures outside of our culture, and that's Africans, Pan Africanists, all of this Hotep shit. It's a lot of
It's
stuff that
jealousy.
pulls into us and
Exactly.
starts to divide us.
It's just
My
jealousy. That's all.
grandfather looked like he was white. My grandma was dark. So it's like, what the hell? I think we have to pull back as Americans, because I call us Aboriginal Americans, and watch the funky stuff that's coming from Africans, Caribbeans, and all of these outside quote unquote blacks who are not American. And if you don't pull black back as a darker skinned woman, man, light skinned man or woman, they start with this nonsense. And our skin tones don't have nothing to do with their skin tones. What they consider light, we don't consider light. We'll be over here going crazy. These motherfuckers are trying, they're going through what you would call, I like to call it Sybil syndrome. They're trying to find a way to fit in. It's real funny how they don't like light skin, but they'll sit in a tub of bleach. We've never had that issue in our community, whether you were, and I had to think about it, and we never had that in our house. We have light-skinned people from people would say Kamala doesn't look like a black woman. I have a family member who looks like her, but that doesn't mean she's black. I think we need to get on the aspect that a lot of people will use that colorism notion, and we did go through it, but we've come past it more so than they have. And I don't even understand how an African or a Caribbean or any of these people who are all basically the same shade to some degree have that flaw, and we fall in between it, and they'll use us as this buffer to have us fighting back and forth. I felt some type of way when I saw this woman who was Creole crying online talking about they don't call me black. And I'm like, this motherfucker always
Wait,
been
hold
black
on.
in my community.
Help me out, guys. Help me out. Help me out. When that crazy broad from Michigan said that my hair is coarser than hers, doesn't coarse
I
mean
thought you were,
straight?
I don't know. I think it's just
No.
thick. I don't
No,
know
of
what it
course
is.
mean like an African, like them
Yeah, I got
African,
close here.
like a Brillo pad or something. That's what cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got close here.
so wavy or like curly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm confused as to why she's trying to say your hair is coarser than mine. Like that's an insult. Like how is it an insult to have coarse
I have no idea.
hair?
Was she looking at my picture when she said that shit and thinking she was talking to you?
I don't know.
Because I'm the only person up here with hair.
And also, if memory serves me right, her icon photo was a ginormous, unrealistic afro. So why would she diss somebody for having coarse hair if that's what she identifies with it with her icon photo?
I don't know, but that was some loud ass shit.
Well, guys, I really would like to take her off ice and give her another 2 minutes. But first, let's get everybody up on the panel. The next caller is Curtis. Curtis, let the people know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind.
Yo, it's Curtis calling in from Louisville, Kentucky. I'm just chiming in, man. You know how I do. I'm actually curious to bring her back on because she kind of like I came in at the end of her bitch fit, so I just got like a little bit, and I kind of seen her getting triggered when I was talking when you was talking to her. Cause I kind of see the point she was making, and I already knew where you was about to go with it. Like, why aren't you doing your research? You have so much to say about the Creole people, but yet it's obvious you haven't done any research. And I could see her getting madder and madder and madder to the point where she just you checked her on it and she just couldn't handle it and she just exploded. But I would like to ask her that anyways. Like, why did you get so like emotional over Mike just being like, why haven't you like studied or researched your lineage like what you do on a daily basis? So I figured that was a fair question, but yeah, she totally just went off.
Yeah, and then on top of it, it's like it turns into this weird thing of like you're coming here asking us to educate you. We give you the answers. You try to contest the answers. Just for why? For what reason? I mean, and then she throws the well, no, you're just effeminate because even though you're not Creole, you're light skinned, so you're taking personal offense. No, I'm just gonna stand up for my people regardless of what subset community they lie within. No, if you're saying something disrespectful towards any group of Black Americans, I'm gonna check you on it.
Right.
You ain't even looked into the Creole people, ain't even watched a single documentary, but she's trying to talk down on the Creole people for not representing themselves in media better.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like the shit that had me rolling and shit had me second guessing when she was like, regular people don't look up history. Like, bro, that's all I do when I got when I'm up and if everybody didn't want to fucking look up history, it wouldn't be like over 100 people watching right now.
Right.
Want to learn about some fucking history. I guess over 100 people, we ain't no regular ass people.
So you call in to get educated, and then when somebody actually checks you on what you're actually saying and fact checks you, you automatically get this defensive, and you're just like, well, you don't know anything, and nobody got time to be doing any research. How do you not have time? You have a cell phone, you have the internet, you have a computer. The information's right there in your hands. How do you not have time?
All you do is
make
type
time.
Creole.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to know about Creole is on there. It's on the internet. I mean, literally they're on there. That's nothing you can't learn.
And we got one more person that we're going to bring up. I don't want the panel to get too filled. I don't want her to feel like she's getting ganged up on. So we're going to bring up one more person on the panel. We're going to let her have another 2 minutes uninterrupted. And then we're going to bring up some more panel members. The next one coming from the back to the front is Braxton. Braxton, let us know where you're calling in from and what's on your mind.
So calling in from Louisiana as always. And wanted to add in, Mike, you can look up on Herbert Wilts. He's a master of speaking Louisiana.
Wait, hold on. Time. Your phone audio is a little bit staticky. Did you just say that you're calling in from Louisiana?
Yep.
Damn, Brother Braxton, you've called in several times, and I've asked you this question several times, and I just got a bad memory. I never put two and two together and realized that you're, in Louisiana. So you should definitely have something to say about this conversation, right?
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if you can clearly hear me now.
It's a little bit staticky, but it's better than before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I might have to use some different earphones here. But anyways, I was saying that you can look up Herbert Wilts. He's a master at speaking Louisiana French.
Okay,
Also,
and first name was Herbert, and what was the last name?
Wilts.
LTS.
T-S or Z?
Z.
Z, okay. Yeah, and this is what it's all about over on Mike TV. It's not a cult. It's just some black folks who like to get educated. Each one teach one, right? Our good brother Roy dropped some names of the father of, how do you say that music again? It starts with a Z?
Say what?
No, Roy, you were educating us about the father of a genre of music, and the genre started with a Z, right? Oh, I think we lost Roy, guys. Roy must be dealing with some technical difficulties, but we got a lot of Creoles in the chat still. For all the Creoles watching in the chat, help me out with that music. Okay, here we go. Zedco or something. I'm probably butchering the name, but Zedco. Yeah. So everybody up here educating one another. But Braxton, go ahead and let us know what other thoughts you want to get off, and then we're going to go ahead and give our resident troll 2 more minutes.
Well, all right. Well, real quick, yeah, whenever you hear French from either Louisiana or Haiti or regular French from France, you'll quickly notice the different dialects between the three. It's kind of like is in a way is like when you hear Spanish in Mexico, Spanish in Puerto Rico, Spanish from Spain. You know, it's just broken. It's just like broken down into separate sectors.
I feel you. So basically, there's different like subsects and like different clans and different communities, even within Creole culture.
Yep, it's basically what it is.
Okay, that's what's up. Well, yeah. You got anything else you want to say before we let the animal out the zoo?
well, now I'm done.
I think I'm warning y'all. I'm about to open the gate. Okay.
Now I'm done for right now, and I gotta change these earphones, I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm done for right now.
Please,
all right,
Brandon,
brother.
please.
All right, brother. You're changing headphones, brother. Changing headphones.
Yeah, I gotta switch. Yeah, y'all gotta switch these bitch ass earphones.
Someone said his phone snapping and popping like Rice Krispie treats. Facts. And you know what? We have Roy
Shoulda with the
back.
tumor.
Roy, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on?
Okay, there you go. Your audio cut out. I was just saying earlier how we're all autodidacts. We all thrive for information. We're self-taught, and it was nice for you to educate us earlier on the father of, how do you pronounce it? Is it Zedco?
Zydeco.
Okay, Zydeco.
Yeah, Zydeco.
Okay.
It just means to dance, or back Zydeco is also means snap beans. Like that's what they call the little beans. It's just called snap bean. That's what Zydeco really mean, but it also means to dance and stuff like that too. So that's why it's called Zydeco. But
okay.
snap bean. It's it's just a long history of different little words and French words and stuff like that. So it's also a French word, but it also came from somewhere else too. So it's just a really it's a long history of where Zydeco came from.
Nice.
So
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, grab your popcorn, grab your tea, hide your kids, hide your wife. We are about to let the bat out the cave. Yeah, grab some Jack Daniels. I'm gonna grab the weeping. Jesus Christ. Hey, I do this for guys. I'm so glad that I didn't let her extend my last stream, because you'll know how I keep my streams right under an hour. I keep them right at the 59-minute mark. And she was calling in last minute trying to get the game from us. And I said, wait. I'll start another live stream. I was gracious enough to start a dedicated stream just for her to call in and get educated. And this is how this bitch acts. Okay. All right. We got a lot of people backstage. Before we bring up the next person, we got to give this just another 2 minutes, because I'm just such a crazy cult member like that. I'm just such a crazy cult leader. Speaking of which, guys, I'm such a crazy cult leader that I actually put a poll in the chat. I'm not sure if you guys saw the poll. Let me go ahead and take a look at what the results of the poll look like so far. God damn it, I'm just the most fair and balanced cult leader you've ever heard of, huh? Timers and polls and, different people able to click the link at any point in time and call in. What? Damn it, where they do that at? Go ahead, let's check out the poll. I said, who's a crazy faggot bitch? Mike, or the random female from Michigan. We got 26 votes. 81% said the random female from Michigan. So, ma'am, if I'm such a cult leader, and if this is just a circle jerk filled with yes men, then why did 19% of the people agree with you that Mike is a faggot bitch? Why? Why, if this is just a cult? There would be no dissenting opinions.
Yeah,
My daddy was a Marine. He told all his kids not to be no yes man, no yes woman.
We can't go against the cult leader, Mike. That's why.
That's right. That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give her 2 minutes uninterrupted. When the time is up, we are going to play her off how we do the Africans. Y'all know how that works, right? Everybody knows how Mike get down when we hit the to the left, to the but we'll have to hit the Creole edition, okay? We won't get to the left. We'll hit the Creole edition. But coming from the back to the front, her name is It Is What It Is. That's her name for whatever reason. I guess I should have known something was up when she chose that name. Any woman whose name is It Is What It Is, you know she a fucking problem. Come on, y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2 minutes starts now, little baby. Go ahead.
Like I said, I know you have an extra chromosome because of inbreeding. I know a couple of cousins was fucking your mom, but I'm gonna put that to the side. And you're not a historian; you're a pseudo historian. You probably graduated from ICDC college, and you definitely have an obsession with Africans. Did you suck one of their dicks or something, and they hurt your feelings? Like, what exactly happened? What happened? Did they hurt you? Did they break your heart? Did they break your heart? And yes, you don't have any hair because you probably had AIDS, HIV, because you're gay, getting fucked in the butt. However, however, oh, you're there. Okay, so you're triggered. That sound, yeah, that's what happened to him, and that's why he's so mad at people. And you're just, you're just an idiot. You really are. Look at the
Let's get it right here.
He actually went to school with my brother, both of my brothers. Chris Aldwin. Oh no, that's J. No, that's J. Paul. J. Paul Jr.
You know it goes down when I come in your town. I said I got one question to the lady.
Yeah, guys. The main topic of discussion is Creole culture, and although I was giving her 2 minutes uninterrupted, she was really stalling. She was really spinning her tires. She was I don't know what to say next. She thought she was cooking. She really wasn't. So we're going to bring her back, but I have a point to prove. I'll let you know what that point is in just a moment. But let's listen to some, again, I'm sorry, Roy. Is it Zydeco?
Zydeco.
Zydeco.
Yeah, J. Paul Jr.
Shit, I just want to know if she's still going to try to troll you or if she's going to try to learn some information or some shit.
She needs to stop at this point. That shit was disappointing as hell.
Where the pretty women at? Where the pretty women at? Where the pretty women at? Yeah.
I just want to ask her why the fuck she got triggered.
Where the pretty women at? Yeah.
And call me petty.
Go ahead.
Call me petty, but I like to prove a point. Olo, I just wanted to prove a point. Olo said she must be hella bored to stay on hold that long. Yes, I put that bitch backstage on ice to sit in the corner for like 10 minutes, cut her off before her 2 minutes is up, and she's still sitting backstage like a good girl. Why? Because she's addicted to the attention. She just wants somebody to talk to, y'all. That's all it is. She just wants somebody to talk to. So go ahead, baby girl. Get it off your chest.
It's kind of funny that you're worried about me sitting back here, but you have me on hold. Like, you have the power to, like, literally kick me off of your panel, but you still want me here. And actually, the ugly bitch you have on the screen, her hair is like yours. You look just like her from the chin up. Like, are you crazy? And like I said, I know you have an extra.
Ma'am, I don't really.
I'm the only dark skinned person with hair. with the picture. Are you sure you're not talking about me, man?
I
You're
don't.
talking about the wrong person.
I don't really.
Oh, now you're triggered.
I
That's
don't
what's
really
triggering you.
kick people
You're
off. Man,
the
man,
pubic
man.
hair.
Relax. I don't kick people off unless they're like really wildly out of pocket. And honestly, although you are fairly out of pocket, you're our entertainment for the evening. This is just a case study into mental health. I'm not going to kick you off. You're a big girl. You can exit stage left. Why are you here? If you hate me and I'm gay and I'm effeminate, then why are you here? She says she's in Michigan. What are they, 3 hours ahead? Is that Central or East Coast time? I don't know, guys. It's 9 p.m. on the West Coast. It's probably 11 or midnight where she's at, and she ain't got no man to be in bed with. She ain't got no soap opera to watch. She don't want to watch the Zeus Network or nothing. She want to talk to Mike. So go ahead, baby. Talk to me sweet.
You are sweet. Your booty hole is sweet. And you're gay. You literally are gay. Like I said, you have an extra chromosome. You have an extra chromosome because of inbreeding. And your hair chin is nappy as fuck. And the fact that you think you're smart, you're not. Because you didn't even know what course was. And you needed a whole panel of people to defend you. That's why this is a cult. You cannot stand on your own.
Ma'am, I was being rhetorical. When I said, does coarse hair mean straight? It was a rhetorical question because it makes no sense for you to try to diss me for having coarse hair.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm like, what is this? Is this the upside down world? Does coarse mean straight all of a sudden? I mean, why would a black woman diss a black man for having coarse hair? Where do they do that at? And yeah, as Larvadane, I don't even have hair. Like it's just weird. It's just weird racist epithets. You're light skin and your hair is coarser than mine. It just really speaks to your mental insecurity.
No, Mike, you look like me now. You dark skin like me now with hair like me now.
Hey,
you forget.
I don't know. I think New Era
I should turn on my camera so she tell I'm the only person that looked like her fucking picture. So she just stop talking about you look like me.
She doesn't understand that she's up
She's
here
like,
as our
she
place.
totally
She's up
different
here
than me.
because tonight, for whatever reason, Mike kind of feels like playing with his food. That's all. So go ahead and keep it interesting. We're just doing a social experiment to see how long it's going to take for you to leave. How much can we troll you? How much can we mute you, silence you, put you backstage, bring you back upstage? Guys, right now, she's probably been talking this whole fucking time. She's probably running her mouth this whole fucking time. She don't know I got her mic volume on 0. That's how bad you're getting trolled. So let me turn your mic volume up now, and let's see what you've been shrieking about this whole time that you've been on mute.
Are you done? Are you done?
Maybe you want to change the smoke detector battery, baby.
No, that was somebody
It
else.
ain't her. It ain't her.
Exactly.
My nigga Curtis said I will take the blame for that.
No, it ain't me. It definitely ain't me, nigga. I know who it is though, but I ain't.
His new era, ain't it? His new era.
My shit on mute, nigga. It damn sure wasn't me. Y'all can't hear me for shit. Don't blame me.
I'm gonna let them go ahead and admit to who it is, but yeah, I know who it is.
Clarity's on mute. I don't know if Clarity was on mute earlier. What was it, Clarity?
It's Clarity.
It might have been. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember it was Clarity.
It might be me.
You know,
Bridget said she thought it was hers. Bridget thought it was guys. This lady is so down bad and in such need of a friend. She backstage right now, and I'm gonna bring up 2 more people. Take our time leisurely, and I bet you she'll wait backstage like a good girl. We've got Gabe coming from the back to the front. Gabe, where are you calling in from, and what's on your mind? Gabe going once. And Gabe going twice. And Gabe is out of here.
Yes, Lavardian.
Did Baxter just say candy booty? Like,
yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was me that typed that. And Mike, I was gonna ask you, is she somebody from your past who you might have forgot about or something?
I have bruised the ego of so many immigrants that she could be a body I caught in the past that I forgot about. Yeah, hey, just like on some gang shit where you don't know me, nigga, but you killed my cousin. I probably fucked up her bush baby cousin in these virtual streets. You know what? This was probably her cousin right here, and she mad I exposed him.
She has a personal vendetta against you.
She acting like I'm Dr. Umar Johnson and I done smashed them cookies and then dipped.
Come home frustrated and she had a bad day and the things just didn't go right and she ain't gonna want to be caressed and she ain't gonna want to be massaged and she ain't gonna want a forehead kiss. She gonna want her cookies crushed. Every once in a while, your queen is gonna want her cookies crushed. And when your queen needs you to crush those cookies, you have to be able to meet the demand. Every sister, I don't care how spiritual she is, I don't care how feminine she is, every once in a while, she want cookies crushed.
That's her problem. She ain't got her cookies crushed. She is in desperate need of cookie crushing. And I'm not going to take that for the team. New Era, can you take one for the team and crush them cookies?
Hey, what is wrong with you asking me that dumbass question? You know Abdul on the S Loverty. Hey, baby. What's wrong with you, light skinned man? Trying to become me too.
Curtis,
how fat
can you
is
take
her
one
ass?
for the team?
How fat is her? No, she's too slick at the mouth, man. I end up having to smack the shit out of her. She.
Whoa. Mike TV does not endorse hate speech.
Hypothetically.
Neither do New Era.
Hypothetically, he would make her face run into his hand.
Right.
Yep, I feel you. Wait, guys, before we bring her back, because she's such a good girl, she's waiting backstage. Oh, we're taking her to charm school, guys. We're teaching her manners and etiquette. We've got another caller. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your name, but coming from the back to the front is SM. SM, where are you calling in from and what's on your mind?
You might gotta unmute yourself.
No, they're unmuted. Go ahead.
Get rid of that video.
They have nothing to say.
Man. They're in there eating a fucking monkey, dude.
Yeah, hey, these motherfuckers want to call in and not say shit.
Christ, man, you blowing my high with that shit, man.
Okay.
Monkey stew, monkey tail soup.
I will get the beautiful sisters back on the screen. No more monkeys.
monkey booty
Okay,
soup.
no more monkeys monkeying around. But let's bring back our resident monkey, if we will. Okay. If she's gonna throw around the racial epithets, goddamn it, we can do that too.
Back for more.
Let's go ahead and bring back our ooh ah ah. Go ahead, little monkey girl. What you got for us?
I literally think you're the because didn't those inbreeds fuck a monkey to get that nappy hair of yours? Didn't you do that? And I'm talking about the taco meat at the bottom of your chin, you ugly fuck. You're literally ugly. And the nigga that wants to booty clap for you, I can you can come with me. Like, you keep on putting up music. Are you that? You just don't know how to deal with a woman. You usually fuck men.
Hey, boozy cake.
Come on, nappy head. You turn off the music. Come on, you nappy head inbred monkey. Why won't you say?
Now he's a monkey.
Yeah, he is a monkey in a gator bait.
Isn't that racist? So he's a
You
monkey. He's a
fucking
gay
nappy-headed,
monkey.
you nappy-headed white cracker monkey. Like, why won't you?
Wow.
Why?
Ma'am, can you repeat yourself? I thought you called me alligator bait, but I might have been mistaken.
Are you done?
Did I hear you mention alligators?
Are you done, you nappy-headed chin monkey? Are you?
Ma'am, don't be afraid. No one's actually going to reach through the interweb and strangle you. Did you mention alligators? Your audio was cutting out. Can you repeat your comment about alligators, please?
No, your audio is cutting out. You didn't pay your bills because you're broke and you need this.
Okay.
Have you been drinking, ma'am?
Here's what we're going to do here. Because she doesn't understand that if
you keep saying he has hair, he doesn't. He's
live up
bald.
to the moniker of dictator, I will do it. So this is how we're going to do it, okay? This is how it's going to go. You're going to repeat your statement about alligators the next time I bring you up, or we're going.
That's why I keep an asshole about nappy hair and shit. Like, this nigga rocking the Michael Jordan.
Damn. Hold on, I'm gonna say it slowly so that it sinks in, okay? I know that you're a troll. I know you
I was gonna say
desperately need
Magic
human
Johnson.
interaction, and this is the only way you can get it, being as divisive as you are. But if you don't repeat your previous statement about alligator bait, if you don't repeat that for the people on the back that didn't hear you, then we'll just go ahead and get rid of you. So let's see. Are you afraid, or are you willing to repeat the statement you just made?
Okay, so you must be slow. So I'll clarify for you. I called you an alligator baby. I said the chin hair is nappy as fuck that you have.
So when you say an alligator baby,
Lord
that's what
have
I was
mercy.
confused on, because I could have swore the first time she called me alligator bait. I'm pretty sure the first time it sounded like she said alligator bait, but help me out here. I've never heard of an alligator baby. What is an alligator
Wouldn't that
baby?
be
Is that supposed to be
alligator
a
bait?
joke? Is that supposed to be funny, or what's an alligator baby?
That ain't funny.
That's bait. That's
Take
alligator
take
bait.
the take the dick out of your ear and maybe you will hear. I said he's an alligator baby. You were thrown into alligators and they ate your black
Told
dirty
you.
ass.
I
Okay,
told
that's
you.
your
And
nappy
then you
headed
came
monkey
back.
ass. They ate.
Oh, I get it, guys. We're
She's
on
not
the
a
line. Hold on. We're on the line with a divester. Now it's coming together. She's talking like a divester. She said that I'm a bitch faggot and I'm alligator bait. They threw me in the water. She's trying to diss me for having kinky curly hair. Guys, she's a divester. This is going to make a great clip. Keep dancing for us, girl. I like the way you dance. Just speak a little clearer, okay? Just speak a little clearer into the microphone.
No one said you had curly hair. I said you had nappy, coarse, dirty hair. And my hair is looser texture than yours. I said you're an alligator baby. But for some reason, you equate that with white men. You have white men, African men on your mind a lot. You must have sucked their dick and they didn't call you back. Is that what happened? You nappy headed monkey? Like, seriously, you're pathetic. And you're a historian, right? You're fucking delusional, bro. You're crazy.
Yes, I am a historian, so I am very familiar with the phenomenon of Le Bedwinch. Come on, guys. We are all familiar with Bedwinch a la carte.
I think she didn't had too much Alizé drink
Oh,
or
so
something,
she's a
man.
passing around chick?
She's
I think she's a
definitely
tether to
tipsy.
Aslevardian.
Yeah,
That's
I
Levine
think
told
she's
me not
just
to get her yet, so I can't
she's
cook her
just a
ass right now.
lonely tether.
There's nothing to get, man. She just got the same replies. You suck dick and you white and monkey and
And you
racist.
have hair in which you do not.
Yeah, like I'm the only nigga up here right here. Like I'm trying to
Literally.
know who the fuck she talking about.
Yeah, like it's the same
Yes,
No,
replies.
guys,
slow would be her
Minnesota,
sex
Michigan, those
life.
areas are filled with East Africans. She's probably an inbred, big forehead incest baby. That's why she's speaking about incest so much. She literally called to just speak about complexion and incest. Do you guys realize that?
I noticed that shit too, and shit when she
Me
got
ask
mad.
her
That's the
how
first
dry
thing
is
that she
she.
I
said.
know that.
Yeah,
Sounds like
you
she's
run that shit
projecting.
back when she got mad. The first thing she said was like, "You light skin, Mike, or you white or some crazy ass shit like that." She went to colorism.
Yeah, she's projecting
Dang.
her own
Yeah, her
Africans
feelings.
are
cracks
obsessed
ass
with
cracks.
color. Africans and
And real
Caribbeans are obsessed with
shout out to
color.
Boo. Boo says, "You're really going to let this bitch pass the time on such an interesting subject?" No, Boo, you're late to the party. I already did a full hour-long presentation on this subject. This is the after party. If you want to see the subject with no interruption from Bedwinch East African Divester, then watch the last stream I did. It's called Phil Scott disrespects Creoles or something. Look, if you want to see it, you just go to my YouTube channel. Go to the channel, right? And it was like the last stream I did. Phil Scott faces backlash for disrespecting Creole people. That's where you can get the good information. We went deep with it. We went deep. But right now, we just gonna let her entertain us a little bit more, and then I got a joint that's calling my name in about 20 minutes, so she'll be up here for no more than another 20. But we've got Gabe back. Gabe had some audio issues before. Gabe, are you there now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, now we can hear you.
Yes, my name is Aquila, and I'm from Atlanta.
Hey,
Aquila.
how you doing?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, that girl, I don't know what her issue is. That's definitely a troll. I know you finished the topic with the the Creoles. But I just wanted to say this. I don't know if this is true or not. I know the Creole's still in the chats or whatever, but I just wanted to say that I heard a folktale or or oral story that Creole people, the reason why they love to keep it in the blood is because they are preserving the consciousness of the Creole DNA and culture. So I don't know how true that is, but I heard that's why they, it was such a thing to sleep with other Creole, not interbreeding, but sleeping with other Creole.
Yeah, well, you know what? Our resident Creole ambassador is Roy. Roy, would you like to respond to her?
Yeah, it's true in the sense that it's like they didn't like outsiders. You got to realize people didn't start speaking English in Louisiana till like the 70s. You know that a lot of I know I think my mama, she was born in the 60s, but everybody before her, their first language was either French, Creole, or Spanish. That was their first language. So of course they're gonna try to keep it in the family. So it was frowned upon to be like to go outside of the community to get another person. But as time went on, then they started accepting more and more people like them. So, but yeah, it was true for a good little while that they didn't, because you got to realize that if you speak in French or Creole, well, you want somebody else to speak French and Creole with you. So that's why they didn't do outside. Because I think the highway didn't come in till like the 40s or 50s. We didn't have highways in Louisiana until like the 40s or 50s. So it was closed off for a long time. So only people that went out is people that had money. So that's why a lot of rich people came back with different wives and stuff like that. But that, like you say, it was frowned upon. You didn't see that. Everybody I know that either Louisiana or Mississippi. Mississippi was part of Louisiana, so either Mississippi or Louisiana. But other than that, there was no Alabama, there was no Texas. They didn't start intermingling until like the 50s. Or I think they had a population that moved to Houston in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. They settled in like the Fifth Ward. I think it was called Little Louisiana or Little something. I can't remember what it was called, but they moved there. And then of course you had a population in Galveston, but for the most part, Louisiana was its own thing for the longest. And they didn't really mess with people from we call it up North Louisiana. So probably from Alexandria on down, that was considered like Louisiana. The rest of Louisiana was considered parts of Alabama and Texas and Arkansas. So that's the only other part that was up there was Natchitoches. Natchitoches is straight Creole. See, it's different areas, pockets. Natchitoches was considered a Creole area. That's where the 12 families and stuff come from. And then you had New Orleans was its own little area. Then you had the Southwest Louisiana area. And most of the Southwest Louisiana area was considered French and Creole. But in New Orleans, it was considered straight Creole. They didn't speak French. Now only the certain people, only the higher status people spoke French. That's another thing too. That's a lot of people don't get. And I've been wanting to say this for the longest. I know Haitian people always try to claim Louisiana as their I want to. They always try to say, "Oh, that's Haitian culture." No, it's not. It's straight Louisiana culture.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that because I was talking with somebody online who was Haitian, and we were talking about Louisiana culture in general, and then we got to the voodoo. And, they was basically saying that like, oh well, it influenced, and I'm like, well, that
no, it was their population was too small to influence.
Yeah, Haitian and Louisiana, they intertwine their culture sometimes, but the influence, no, that's deep. Like Southern roots. That's
people get that confused because a lot of Haitians came over, but it wasn't. See, they already had Creoles in Louisiana before the Haitians arrived. Same thing with the Cajun. So I think only maybe like 1,000 people came. See that's why whenever they say something about there was 20,000 people in Louisiana, from like 1700s to like the 18, I want to say 1860s, 70s. I want to say even probably 1900s. They didn't start influxing into like the 1920s. Really
Mm,
coming in. So that's why whenever people say, "Oh, that's Haitian culture," no, it's not.
yeah,
We have nothing like Haiti. It's literally nothing.
yeah,
Everything is homemade. Everything is
it,
from Louisiana. That's why we say
yeah,
Louisiana Creole. We don't say Haitian Creole. We don't say
yeah,
Creole. It's Louisiana Creole. That's it.
yeah. I agree. Well, thank you so much for the history lecture. I just want to come up here and ask that question because I've been hearing a lot about it, and I just want to know if it's true. I'm a new subscriber. I have been window watching, and today I decided to subscribe because I'm like, why not? But yeah, this live stream has been fun. That troll, uh, yeah, that troll, her coochie smell like mac and cheese, and I can smell her funk through my screen, and I just want to say that she need to get down somewhere. But yeah, that's it. Bye bye.
All right, till next time. Till next time. And you know what? She's been a good girl on mute this whole time. What do you think about the other sister saying your coochie smells like mac and cheese?
Well,
Well,
Aquila is an African name, and her booty scratching African ancestors. Their pussy smell like.
I was just joking. We don't give a damn what you think. Let's get on with the conversation. Guys, is there anybody on the panel that has any more questions for our Creole representative while we do have the brother gracing us with his presence?
He answered a
Is
lot of my questions,
Creole
and I'm about to head out.
go
All right,
ahead.
hold on.
Somebody was about to
oh
say something. What you say?
Well,
yeah
hold on real quick. Sounds like Chris has a question, but it sounds like Clarity has to leave. Clarity, if you want to provide us with some closing remarks real quick.
I feel like we had a tether troll on, and I don't want y'all to keep hearing my doggone alarm that I just changed my battery.
I was
So I
holding you
gotta
down. I
go.
wasn't gonna say nothing.
It was mine. I just changed it. These batteries are fucked. But in any case, yeah,
It's
we just
not you,
gotta
it's
be
the
happens.
careful.
batteries.
Yeah, it
It's the
happens.
They don't
batteries.
let them
It's
9 volts
government.
expensive
It's the
now.
government batteries.
Yeah,
We
it was
gotta
on the
watch out for
batteries.
Pan Africanists and Africans. They a little too much for me. I smell it a mile away, and I'll just be listening from the background. Everyone have a good night. Peace.
You
All
too.
right, till next
Peace.
time. The Irene Jones says, I can't believe she's still here. She would still be here right now if I didn't ban her from the studio. That girl was just addicted. But Curtis, it sounds like you have a question for Roy.
Yeah, the Creole, is that like, is it a culture in Louisiana, or is it
Yeah,
just like a lineage?
it's a culture. Now,
Okay.
Cajun people are really Cajuns from Nova Scotia. That's why they call them Cajuns. But the Creole is a culture. It's not a people. That's why I don't I can't understand why people always say, "Oh, look, he's a light skin. That's Creole." That don't automatically mean you're a Creole. I promise you, because I got way more dark skinned people in my family than a little bit, and it's just a
That's like
culture.
the term mulatto, right?
Yeah, it's like
Mulatto is a complexion. Mulatto is not a
yeah,
culture like Creole is.
yeah, the mulatto and octoroon and colorism and all that stuff. That's Louisiana terms, because the way the system was ran. See, you had a system in Louisiana too, um, but that was like earlier. But and I don't understand why attack because we were just like everybody else. We were considered second class citizens, all that stuff. So I'm not because Plessy versus Ferguson, that was a Creole, but
So
people
what?
don't. Yeah, he
So
was
let
a he was a light skinned dark. He was a light skinned man. That's why um he looked white, but his family and everything was dark skinned. That's why he went and sued, but he lost. See, that's a lot of people don't know that. But Plessy versus Ferguson, Plessy versus Ferguson, he was a black man. Well, what you would consider a black man nowadays.
so let me ask you this: why isn't Creole as prevalent as it is now than it was back in the day?
It's just times change. Everybody want to be should a black person. You like the Creole? I'm black. That's all they say. No matter what color they are, they could be light as the light. They consider themselves black. I used to work with a lot of light skinned Creoles, and I used to work. I got the casinos out here, and one time this white man was talking to him, and he thought he was white. And he started calling everybody niggas and all kind of stuff. But he was like, "What? What you said?" He said, "Yeah, all these niggas over here." He's like, "Hey
What
man,
is
I'm one too. What are you talking about?" Yeah, you end up getting a fight with him and everything, man, because you just don't know. Because he had like blue eyes and shit, light skin. He looked like an Italian, but he didn't know. He just thought he was a regular.
And real
Like,
quick,
nah.
I want to address another troll that snuck into the kingdom. Boo says
Right.
you were slaves. We Haitians were
Think we didn't
free. It
catch
was
that
we
shit?
who showed you voodoo. If you guys were free, then why
No, it
did you
wasn't.
pay a fucking
How
independence
in the
debt to
world can you
France?
be
Y'all
free but
paid
you was brought
France
to sword?
trillions of dollars so you can get
Said
your freedom.
2018
That's some
or some
bitch
shit.
made shit. Yeah, since
Said 2018.
2018.
They
Yeah.
just you didn't show us nothing because a lot of people don't know 80% of the people in Louisiana was free. See, they don't tell you that stuff in school and none of that. Whenever everybody was free, 80% of the black population in Louisiana was free. They, for some odd reason, they just skip over that and just like, oh, everybody was still slaves. No, it wasn't. Not in Louisiana anyway. They didn't play that stuff because you had too many swamps in here. People ran off into the swamps. People ran off into different areas. You couldn't go to certain areas in Louisiana because you had the Native Americans that would kill you, and then you also had the black population then that would kill you too. That's why in Louisiana it fell so quick. The Confederates fell quick in Louisiana. That's why they moved the capital to Shreveport. It didn't last long. They were like, "Nah, we already don't like we already don't trust you." So I
That's
think his name
that's
was Green.
that's deep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
real.
A lot of people don't know. Yeah, where I live at, it was called No Man's Land where I lived at. This was all the pirates, and that's
Mhm.
why you had a thing called Contraband Days for a long time until the black people said, no, you're not gonna call it Contraband Day because contraband back in the day, they changed some kind of reason they changed the definition. Contraband means slaves and all that stuff because that's what contraband was, slaves and treasure and all that. So for years they call it contraband days. And one day black people like, nah, y'all not gonna disrespect us like that no more. Now it's just called pirate days.
So let me ask you this: do you think that the Creole is just kind of like it's been whitewashed into like
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Asian
been
to where it's like,
yeah.
all right, yeah,
It's
that's
been
what it's looking like.
it's been taken over. Like I said, they had a program in Louisiana called Coderfield, and they was a racist organization which Louisiana paid for to where they wiped out all the stuff that black people and Native American did, and they put it to Cajun.
Hmm.
So that's why you don't hear nothing about Creoles anymore with the food and anything. But you cannot. No food in Louisiana was made without a Creole. None. Not one aspect of it. Maybe like some little sandwich or something from Italians that bought or something like that. But all the rest of it was straight Creole. That's why when he say Cajun, it pissed a lot of people off because all they did was just steal from the Creoles, i.e., black people and Native American. That a Takapa and the Caddo, the Washita, the Choctaw, all those people, um, they the ones who had all the ingredients. They the ones who did everything. They the ones intermingled with each other before the Europeans and all that stuff. Because when a lot of slaves ran to Louisiana because they couldn't. Literally where I live, if a European came in there, they would kill you.
Hmm.
They would kill you and they would eat your head. That's why they call them head eaters. I talk about me. I think they call them head eaters or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the term means, but I talk about you did not come in this area. For sure, you didn't come. They literally killed you. But the slaves made it here and they stayed here. And it is a place called Mossville, which was taken over now by the industry, by the plant and gas industry, gas and oil industry. Where they have they came in and made Mossville. That's where the slaves. That's when they first settled in. It's called Mossville. So that's just some history we had, and
I appreciate it. Yeah. You
I feel
dropping
like
some gems.
I
oh
feel
yeah,
like
the Opelousas. We had Opelousas massacre. The reason why they massacred the people in Opelousas because they had a lot of money, and only men could vote at the time. Right after slavery, it was like the 80s, 1880s. It was called Opelousas massacre, and they ended up massacring like 200 or 300 people just for them voting. Now tell me how crazy that is.
I mean, that's American history at this point, brother.
Yeah,
Like,
down there, American history. We
yeah,
we the only ones that had a governor that didn't. He was a black governor. He won it, and they never seated him
Wait,
in
what?
Louisiana.
In Louisiana, a black governor
They
won, and they just never seated
just
him.
never seated him. I went to Grambling, and man, what's the doggone? I can't think his name right now. Is gonna kill me, but they never did seat him. He ended up winning the governorship, and they never seated him.
Damn.
He tried, and then he never did. They ended up having a special runoff, and then he ended up losing the
That's
second
fucked up.
runoff. Yeah, oh yeah, it was messed up. But you know, he still was in the Senate. He was in the Senate, so they did all kind of rule change and everything. But yeah, he was the only governor. I don't know if that's ever, but for sure he's the only governor at the time that won and they never seated him. Man, I can't think of his name because Grambling got dorms named after high ranking people, and I used to stay in the dorm. I can't think of the doggone name right now, but
And you know what? I've got a
that's the
quick
messed
clip
up.
I'd like to play that is kind of comedic, but it really does touch on
oh man,
Louisiana
my doggone
Creole history.
I'm about to run out of energy,
Another
man.
juice?
So
Oh, but hey, well, Roy, if you're running out of juice, go ahead and leave us with some closing remarks. Please let me know how long have you been a viewer of the channel, and will you call in the future and drop some
Yeah,
more
you gotta
gems
come
for
back
us?
in, Roy, man.
oh yeah, I'm
Drop it
been a viewer
signs.
for a little while. Probably I guess a couple of years because you had a couple of YouTube pages. I want to say, did you have a couple of them?
Yeah, so it's always been the same channel, but at one point in time it was called Mr. Real Estate. At
Yeah,
one
Mr.
point in
Real Estate.
time it
Yeah, I
was
was
Who
in there,
Watches
Mr.
the
Real Estate.
Watchmen. Yeah.
Yeah, then I fell off for a little minute. I guess I got into my own little life, but I recently started coming back because I like the African stuff, man.
You can be cool. You can just say that
That's
Mike fell off a
hilarious.
little bit, and then he came back on. He stepped his game.
But it's just I'm always looking for good content. I'm looking for different content because a lot of times, uh, people do and
There's
say
nothing
stuff,
else
and
on here, man. It's
yeah,
just Mike
it's just all the
Grill. You
same
know
stuff
what I'm
over
saying?
and over. And then
Yeah, there's nothing else
I,
to watch on YouTube.
I wish you would have got on the Jamaicans going crazy because they didn't win nothing in the Olympics, and they was getting on Americans. They was got on Noah Lyles. I was like, how you get on Noah and he ended up winning the gold medal? I don't get that. He lost to 200. Yeah, but he still got a gold medal. He got on Shakira and all that stuff, man. I wish you'd have got on that. Or maybe next time.
Damn. Yeah,
Well, all right, man. Y'all take it easy, man.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for calling in. Don't hesitate to click that link in the
Yeah,
future.
if I
We
get some more
appreciate
juice,
it
I
on
don't
the
know if y'all
page.
still gonna be on tonight, but if y'all get some more juice, I'll check back in.
All right, for
right,
sure,
man.
brother.
Take it easy.
Nice chopping it up with you.
All right, man. Y'all
Shout
be
out to
good.
all the Creole folks, okay? Representing. We got the Creoles in the building, okay? Do a live stream about Creole culture and all these Louisiana folk come out the woodwork. I didn't know I had so many Creole people watching me. That's Labor Day, and I thought you was the only Creole this whole time. Lo and behold, we had some Creoles watching in the bushes for years. I didn't even know. But you know what, guys? I've got to wrap up the stream before we start doing closing remarks. Let me play this quick clip that touches on Creole history in a comedic fashion.
Louisiana, we need to talk. Yeah, American. What is it? Okay, what is this? Louisiana, what is this race mixing? Oh, those lovely people. Those are my Creoles. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know that needs to stop right now. But why? That's just the way I do things. It's the way I used to do things when the French and Spanish were in control. Okay, but understand that you're American now, and we don't do things like that. But I love all my Creoles. Anything that was in colonial Louisiana is Creole to me. I have all types of Creoles. Pure white French Creoles, beautiful mixed rice Creoles, and pure Creole from the Congo. Okay, the only thing that can stay Creole to me is the white Creoles. These are the only Creoles now. Le Blanc Creoles, but the French aren't just the only Creoles. You're American now, get used to it.
Damn. So when we talk about why the white Creoles are in the forefront, well, propaganda, mass media try to strip away the multi-ethnic background of the Creole people, the diverse Creole people. They try to make it so that just The whitest of the white is what represents Creole culture. And then apparently I'm learning something new today. I didn't know that Cation was just an offshoot, a remix, a rebranding of Creole. So yeah, the more you know. Thank you guys for all dropping some gems and educating me while I in turn try to educate you all. But let's start doing some closing remarks. Who wants to go first? We'll let Braxton go first since his mic's skipping, hopping away as it is. Go ahead, Braxton.
Oh, well, string was lit, formal, it's cool again. Into that, I guess she might have been into the, but to that troll chick who was in here now. Her coochie does not smell like mac and cheese. It smells more like no, thank you, please. And that's all I got to say. And I'm out.
Damn, he said mac and cheese smell better than your kuda hitty hada. But all right, Braxton, until next time, brother.
All right, peace out.
Peace. Yeah, we got New Era. I don't know what just happened to Curtis. I think Curtis drunk ass done hit the button prematurely. But New Era, go ahead and lay it on us, No Diddy. What do you think about the broadcast? I mean, I'm so glad I didn't let her extend my original Phil Scott stream because she was just really on some bullshit all along.
Where that was she ain't in the backstage no more?
Nah.
So she still
I banned her.
All right. Yeah, that was some wild ass shit, bro.
She was never gonna leave.
Yeah, like as soon as you said, you ain't. This is kind of weird that you're asking all these questions and you ain't doing no research on it. And that bitch, that's part of my language. That bro, that's blew her top.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I called her a broad at first, not a bitch.
Yeah, and like, you called her a snow bunny. You said, I think you might be a snow bunny the way you talking, and you called her a broad. Oh, you said this broad might be a snow bunny. That's what you said.
Hey, and she took that personal. She can question my coarse hair and my complexion, but call a crazy batshit broad a broad, and all hell breaks loose.
Bro, that shit had me rolling and shit. She said, "Look at you, you dark skin with nappy ass hair." Then I started looking at my picture. I was like, "Yo, wait a minute, is she talking about me, bro?"
Games. She said at the beginning that she knows she has Indian in her because of her hair. Like, what are you talking, bitch? You talking to a genealogist? We know we Indian because of our paperwork, not because of our hair. What the hell?
Yeah, paperwork and oral tradition. That's how we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely wild as shit. Almost blew my high. But next time, Roy, calling, I'm on to give me some authentic recipes because I'm planning on making a trip to Louisiana and cook for somebody.
Hey, people like Roy is what really keeps me going because I've never talked to the brother before. I don't think he ever clicked the link and called in before, but he's been watching off and on for 2 years, finally calls in, and the whole time he's a wealth of knowledge. He's a treasure trove of information. And honestly, that's that Creole shit right there because you Creole brothers be sounding like 80 years old and y'all be way younger. He sounded like he was an old man, and then he should turn on his camera, and I was like, oh, this brother young.
Yeah, that's how I found you the first time I called in and shit. I had mad outs. I ain't never called in into that pasty bird pit. I had to drop some gems on motherfuckers.
I feel it. Yeah, Roy made dealing with that crazy broad bearable. Okay, he made it bearable.
Yeah, that shit has had me rolling, bro. You, New Era and Mike TV don't condone hate speech. Mike TV, you's a faggot, you light skin, you white. Yo, that shit had me rolling, bro. Oh man. Well, I know you got to wrap the stream up. GG.
Hey, and hola, that is S. Larvadane in the pic. But S. Larvadane, correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're the one on the far left, right? S. Larvadane, the one looking all. We ain't gonna go
looking
there.
like
We ain't
mine.
gonna go there. Hey,
Yeah, she looking like mine.
Hey, I got a special weakness in my heart for women who I don't know what you would call this dress style or this blouse style, but know how like the strap be hanging off the shoulder. Oh yeah, ooh wee. When that strap be hanging off the shoulder, oh Lord, Jesus.
I'm coming to meet your Creole family, Larvadane. Don't worry.
That one was her with the strap hanging off the shoulder. I knew that one was you. Yep. With her mama sitting next to her. Okay. That's Larvadane. Since New Era has spoken for you, let me know. Do you have a cousin? I know people think that you Creoles marry cousins, but how about you marry off one of your cousins to Mike TV? Do you think my plan works there?
Maybe.
All right. Hey, we can be like brothers in law or something, right? If I marry your cousin and you get her with her, then somehow we're like marriage.
Yeah, we be in love. Yeah,
Kind
we
of.
be in love. Yeah.
Hey, we up in this bitch. That's right. We about to sneak our way into Creole culture. We getting all the gumbo.
No, I'm wanting to cook something for real though. That should be busting.
Hey, and before we wrap up, doing this broadcast on Louisiana really reminded me of this little girl I see on Louisiana. Or excuse me, not this little girl I see on Louisiana. This little girl that I see on social media that has a very distinct Louisiana accent. At least I think it's a Louisiana accent. What do you folks think? Is this a Louisiana accent or not?
What you got in trouble for?
Stealing in front of the party.
No. What you got in trouble for?
Stealing in front of the
No. Tell the truth. What you got in trouble for?
Stealing out the store.
And what did you steal?
Slime.
And what are we not gonna do?
Steal in front of the
No. What are we not gonna do, Stevie?
Steal in front of the
No. Tell them what are you not gonna do?
Steal out the store.
Okay.
But not
Stevie, you not gonna steal at all. Okay.
Now hold on, and thank you guys. I didn't know you guys were familiar with this little girl. So her name is Little Stevie. I want to see the one I saw where it was her with her grandmama. Oh my gosh, she talked just like her grandmama. Man, is it gonna let me find it? Where is the one with Little Stevie and her grandma? Hold on, what's her social media handle? What's her social media? Moni7. Let me try to search that. Moni7 grandma. Come on. Damn, why are they playing with me? Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna try to find it. Let me try to go in my search history and just type in grandma, because I know that grandma was in the title somewhere, maybe, possibly. Damn, I gotta find that video. That shit was hilarious. She was talking with her grandma, and they sound like they was both just mirror images. Mirror images. God damn it, I can't find it. Is her YouTube name actually Lil Stevie? Because y'all said her name is Lil Stevie, but when I type in Lil Stevie, she don't pop up. And I know this girl famous. And actually, she pops up on this one. She doesn't pop up on the other ones. Whatever. Maybe this will be a compilation. Is this a compilation video? No, it's not. Damn it. Have you seen the video I'm talking about, New Era? You know, I found it, I think. Wait, no, hold up. This is a different one I watched. I don't know if this one has her grandmama in it, but now we getting more Little Stevie videos. Hold up. The one where her grandma was to die for. Let me see if this one is.
If you're not paying the hair, you're not doing your hair.
We get a family discount.
No, that's what's black people problem right there. Just because I do hair, don't mean I'm about to do your hair for the cheap.
And that's just gonna be the problem.
No, that's not. Well, I'm gonna tell that girl, don't do your hair. You can do your own hair, however style anyway. How you can?
I don't feel like doing it. I want her to do it.
Exactly. And you don't want to pay the price, and you got the money.
If that was the case, then I could pay myself to do it.
Exactly. So do your own hair. That's what I heard you say.
Listen.
We listening?
Me paying her from doing my hair, how that's gonna benefit me?
Your hair gonna be done. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. You just keep trying to make points that's not valid.
How it's gonna benefit?
Facts.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I cut the video too soon. Hold on.
Crazy. You just keep trying to make points that's not valid.
How it's gonna benefit?
Why does little girl sound like she smokes cigarettes, retired, and got arthritis? If you close your eyes,
come on.
She sound like Cardi B.
Oh, not Cardi B. No. Cardi B don't sound like no Louisiana Creole. Come on. But I'm sorry. What were you saying, New Era?
I was saying the way how hunger was like you just making facts that don't make sense. That sound like the Pan-Africanist too. Hey, even if you're from America, you come from Africa, so you still a native African American or some stiggy ass shit, whatever the fuck Umar said. That shit had me wild.
Yes, wow.
So I wonder how he feel about USA. Do he think Africa won since we won and took gold out in Olympics?
You know them Pan Goofy stay confused. We can't try to rationalize it.
I think that troll bitch might have been one. Or a tether in the skies.
Or maybe just a divester. I don't know. Maybe she
Oh,
had some light brother that broke her heart. She never got over it, so now she hates the Creoles. I don't know.
yeah, and Diverse is the female version of like Fresh and Fit. I forget because I don't be watching on that shit. Diverse is the female version of the Manosphere,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Basically, yeah, the female manosphere. Facts.
I got you.
Facts.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's
ladies and
exactly what she
gentlemen, boys
sounded
and
like.
girls, we're gonna wrap up this live stream, but I just got 2 ounces of liver. I need to throw them into my cone creator. Start rolling up some pre-rolls. You know what? I still want to ingest some Creole culture. So we're gonna wrap up the broadcast and let me get some music that I can roll to. Let me get some music I can roll to. New Era's girl S. Larva Dame said I should play this song. So we're gonna go ahead and play this song and wrap up the live stream. Make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel, that goes without saying. Book a genealogy consultation if you've yet to do so. And I will see y'all later.
To get genealogy consultation, I highly recommend Mike. You know, he was very thorough, prompt, very knowledgeable. Even taught me some stuff about the background of Indian ancestry and heritage that I didn't know. The biggest piece of it was is he taught me how to pull records and really dig into those records to make sure that I have things to match up to be able to take back for my citizenship. So I really appreciate everything he does, and I highly recommend Mike as your genealogist.
Now raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise both hands up if you know that you're greater. Now raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise both hands up if you know that you're greater than them. See, I've been doing this such a long, long time. You'll never understand what's going on in my mind. They don't understand what it takes to be a music man. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's like. See, if you got a lot of haters, you must be doing something right. Raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise those hands up if you know that you're greater than them. Now raise one hand up if you know you got haters. But raise those hands up if you know that you're greater than them.
I don't need no introduction, y'all know who I be. It's just that every time I hit the scene, they hating on me. I got big dog status, I expect them to hate. And if you shine like I shine, I know y'all can relate. My outfit look good, don't it? Take a picture of me, baby, this a Kodak moment. I'm the boss, I ain't taking no loss. So put me on the list with Slim Thug and Rick.
Wait a minute. I'm just now looking at Keith Frank. Why does Roy look like Keith Frank low key? Roy got that same complexion as Keith Frank. Okay, see, we're learning about the different shades of the Creole people. Because honestly, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw Roy on camera, I thought he kind of looked like Tahitian or Polynesian or something, but that just goes to the varying shades of the Creole people. You got your light-skinned Creoles, you got your dark-skinned Creoles, and you got everything in between. But let's go ahead and listen to some good music, shall we?
Cross, when you think a little that, they be like, oh wow. And yeah, I get girls on the strength of my smile. Me, my dog, we off the easy for season. You ain't think that we'll hook up, I bet now you can raise one hand up. If you know you got haters, but raise both hands up. If you know that you're greater than them, now raise one hand up. If you know you got haters, but raise both hands up. If you know that you're greater than them. Time and time again, my God, you wish you would end. Follow me, the leader, and you'll be hating again. You just can't stop me. You're wishing you could be me. I'm not trying to brag, I just got it like that. But even when I'm bragging, it's a matter of fact. So there's nothing you can do. If I was you, I'd hate me too. Now raise one hand up. You know you got haters, but raise both hands up. You know that you're greater than them. Raise one hand up. You know you got haters.